What is up, everyone? It's your girl Kelsey Victoria, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a story time, and the story time is just going to be about, I don't know how I'm gonna word this exactly, but how I got jumped by my DA, because don't ask. How I got jumped by my BD and his D. From the looks of my last story time, you guys seem to really like the story time. Honestly, I like to laugh at my own trauma too. So I can laugh at things. You know what I mean? I can laugh at things now. You guys think I could do ASMR with this mic? This happened like a few years ago. I had this friend, we're gonna call her Cece. Cece and we met at work at the club. She ended up, I guess, living, or not that long, had moved to, let's say, Atlanta. We kind of worked this thing out to where I would go there and she would come where I lived. The whole purpose of doing that was to essentially save money and just run it up, really work. So at this time she was visiting me and things were just normal. How it was with my daughter is her father would get her when I'm working. And other than that, then she would be with me. And her dad, he lives with his parents. It's her grandmother, her grandfather. So that's who she's with, 1 out of 3 of them, because they all live together. At that time, I'm going to work at maybe 8, 9 o'clock. 8, 9 o'clock was the time. I would say really 8 o'clock was the goal. From then, it was maybe a 45-minute drive to work. So, I would be leaving at 7:15, 8:15, around that time. When I drop my daughter off, I want her to come bathed, fed, ready to go to sleep, basically. And I also like to get ready at home for work. I wanted to spend as much time with my daughter as possible. So I'm getting ready for work and getting her ready for bed to drop her off at her family's house. I remember I had called and spoke to her father, and I told him basically an update, letting him know what time that I was going to drop her off. Let's say if it's 8 o'clock. I was like, yeah, for sure. Okay, I'll be there by 8 o'clock. He was like, okay, all right, cool. Hung up the phone, done. Maybe 20 minutes tops later, it is her grandfather that calls me. He calls me and is like, hey, what time are you gonna bring? And I'm like, yeah, I spoke to her dad 20 minutes ago to let him know that I'll be there in about the next 20 minutes. Then I hear her grandmother's voice just say and yell, you know what, Kelsey, it just shows that you don't give a about your daughter. The moment they said this, I just immediately I was so baffled and just so in the zone of, you know what I mean? Life is going good. My friend's here. We're working. We're gonna have a good night. You know what I mean? I'm just in my own unprovoked, happy realm of life. I didn't even say anything back. I literally just hung up the phone in their face. Once I heard that, because I've gotten to a point with those people where it's I just don't care. I don't care to sit here and defend myself to make you think anything less than what you think of me. I don't care. I could not care less. There's always been animosity with them because I did used to dance, and they would look at that as just bad, but it's your son is literally a drug addict. If not now, still, he was at one point. And your son and I have a 9 to 10 year age gap. Okay, you should be focused on that. Not on the fact that I am, swinging on poles to make a living for myself. Granted, with no type of support, from family. It is just me, myself, and I. I have been on my own since the day of my 18th birthday. I have been on my own. I've always had a place. I've always had a car. I've always tried to make a way. You know what I mean? If anything, you should be proud and happy that your son's not in jail. You would think that me dancing compared to that, your son literally met me 3 months away from me turning 15. So I was 14 when he first met me. I felt so stupid because, and I can't really tear myself up too much because it's I was very impressionable, you know. I was in foster care. Like, they really did not care like that for real, honestly. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean? It's an unfortunate situation, sadly. I love my daughter, will never regret her at all, but I mean, it is what it is. Then your son got me pregnant at 16. Like, I'm just saying, this is statutory rape. Okay, this is statutory rape. Okay? For someone that doesn't have a family support system and that has been on their own and got pregnant at a young age, like, dancing or not, I'm making it happen, and I think I'm proud of myself. So we're on the way. Boom, we're on the way. Cece is like, "Are you okay?" She could feel my energy was like irritated. I don't know, maybe on the verge of crying. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to say something to them because, you know, how dare they, like, given, like, I've done a lot. Like, I'm doing a lot. Like, I work at night, like, and I already communicated with her, like, with her father, you know? So it's like, it's just so uncalled for. So Cece tells me to crack the window when I, like, you know, talk to the dad, her father. When we get there, the lights are off to the house, but there's a car outside, not in the driveway, but just like on the street. And it's a white, like, small, like, twerp looking car. It's there. I end up start calling her family, multiple of them. No one's answering the phone, but once I'm like on the second person, the garage door just starts rising. So I'm like, okay, obviously they heard me, they just didn't answer the phone. When I go to get her, I'm not even looking to see like who is coming outside, but it's her grandfather. Okay. So I'm holding her at my hip and I start off and I say, you know, I just feel like, how dare you guys tell me that I don't give up about my daughter? You know what I mean? You think I don't care about my beloved? The one whom I carried in my stomach for 9 months. You think I don't care about my seed, my pride and joy? Like, how dare you? Because I knew this little fun fact about that person is that he was an alcoholic for like 10, 11 years, you know, and out of his son's life. So I said that. I said, yo, how dare you? And you were an alcoholic out of your son's life. Well, you know what? He didn't like that very much. Then he starts telling me, you know what? Put the baby down. They're Jamaican. He starts saying, put the baby down, put the baby down. And I'm like, oh, wow. Now, at this point, he's putting his fist, he's like pointing in my face, like, put the baby down, put the baby down, put the baby down. This man has a whole shank in his hand. Okay? Now, mind you, when he came outside, his arms was folded like this. So, telling you guys that he really came outside with the idea of wanting to do harm to me. You did not reach in your pocket. You came outside with a shank in your hand. Does that make sense to you guys? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay. Anyways, you came out here to put your hands on me. I'm in disbelief, but I'm like laughing, like shocked, like, wow. Because it's just so outrageous. It's so uncalled for. It's so uncalled for that it's funny. Like, wow, you people are despicable, disgusting. Wow. Like, that's crazy. That's literally, I think that is the definition of psychosis. That is literally delusion right there. Pure delusion. Pure, unfiltered, untouched, raw delusion. My friend now, she's like, she gets out the car and she, as calm as can be, is like, hey, like, what's going on? Everyone just like, relax. And then now he's cussing at her, like, get the fuck off my driveway, get the fuck off my property. And she's like, yes, sir, I just want my friend to be okay. Like, you have a knife in your hand and you're threatening my friend. Like, I'm just trying to, like, basically lower the conversation down. Right? So now he puts all his focus towards her. That was just us three out there, including my daughter. I'm still holding my daughter at this point. He just goes and pushes my friend on the ground. Like, pushes her on the ground onto the ground. I just blink out. I intervene immediately. Now here I go. Now I'm on the floor immediately getting my ass beat, get my ass beat, get my ass beat, get my ass beat. Okay? I hear a car door open. That same car door, that like white ran down little car. A car door opens, swings opens, and I hear footsteps, and then I hear her father's voice. And now I'm getting my ass beat. I feel multiple hands. I feel feet. Like I feel like a mat on a game of Twister. I feel multiple limbs and ligaments hitting me. When I get up to, for a second, because they stopped, right? I get up, I immediately just feel a gush. And it's so sad that I know this feeling. I've felt this before. I feel a gush of blood, fluid. It was blood though, just run from my nose. And these two grown men are now chasing after Cece. They're now chasing Cece. Okay? Ridiculous. Now these two grown men are chasing Cece, like 3-4 houses down, like full speed. What did Roddy Rich say? She a runner, she her track star. Yeah, they were running full speed, force, throttle. Like you would have thought that their lives were in danger. Like they were winning some money. Like this was a competition, a game, if you will. A game of sorts, if you will. Like you would have thought that that was what was going on, how full, force speed they're running after this girl. And I believe at one point, like she was trying to like grab my daughter, like because my daughter is screaming, crying. Yup. Daughter there and everything, right? These people who say, I don't care about my daughter, come outside with a shank to shank the very one that aided in growing her for 9 months. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't pull up to a scene with any weapons. I didn't come outside looking for a fight. I didn't tell them to put my baby down so I can put force and violence on them. No, I didn't. Anywho, in my mind, my reaction to trauma is just, it's actually, it can be kind of funny sometimes, but I'm so calm. And in my head, I'm thinking, you know what, God, thank you. Because I was so brainwashed when I was younger. There were so many times that this man put his hands on me and I did nothing about it. I did nothing at all about it. For the sake of, you know what? That's my daughter's father. You know what? I don't want to see anyone go to jail. So nice. Kelsey is way too nice, way too thoughtful, way too forgiving. Well, who can I say that when I'm a sinner myself, right? And I want forgiveness. So, but I am very forgiving, extremely forgiving, okay? And I thought that, you know what, like the Lord just allowed this to happen because he should have went to jail and that's where he belongs. I'm like, I'm going to call the police. You're about to go to jail. I think at this time he was on probation or something. I don't know. And he's like, oh, I just found out where you live. You call the police. I'm going to shoot your house up. I'm going to shoot your house up. Right. I'm on the phone with 911. I'm crying. I'm like, but I feel like I was really more calmer. Because I remember listening to trauma response is different. Always different, baby. Always different. So they tell us to go to the Wawa. We go to like this nearest Wawa. We go there. We're waiting for the police. The police come. From the vibes from the start, the police act like they did not give a. And then seeing my face, how it looked after was just crazy. People that are in charge like that, like ambulance people, firefighters, is it called paraplegic people? Like those kind of people, police people, they should not be in their positions. A lot of them are not humane. They're not genuine. They do not care. A lot of them, from my personal experience, they really don't. But I mean, to make a long story short, me and my friend ended up getting arrested. And I begged them. I'm begging the cops, like, hey, I know, hey, they have camera footage or whatever. They didn't even want to tell them all that. I begged them. I said, yeah, they do. Please look at it. The cop tells me he saw everything that happened. He sees that he attacked my friend first. But on the contrary, if my friend and I, if Cece and I had just walked away or ran away, sought out shelter after he did that, then he would have been the one arrested. But I guess since I decided to try to defend, I tried to defend ourselves, then we both got arrested, right? Crazy that she even got arrested, because it's like she got pushed and ran. Like, she didn't get touched. Well, besides getting pushed on the ground, you know? But I got my ass beat. Shout out to the police departments all around the world. You guys rock. So at the time I was in a relationship, right, with this guy, let him move in with me. Don't do it, ladies. Don't do it. Don't do it. He comes and he picks up my friend first. She got bonded out first. Me, I had money in my closet in my house that they went back to. And, you know, I couldn't get bonded out for, 3 days. But that's neither here nor there. But that was kind of irritating. But, you know what I mean? It is what it is, you know? No lie, jail is not the place for me. I was definitely trying to KMS. Yeah, the way I am set up and everything that I've just been through in life, when it comes to jail, I don't care. You might as well just me, because I am not going to have the mental capability to deal with being in there. With everything that I've been through, no, baby. And I can admit it. Like, I am not one of God's toughest soldiers. I'm not, baby. Newsflash, I have PTSD. I have PTSD. And now for the most part, you wouldn't really know until I'm in a traumatic, situation. Then you'll know. Then you'll know. It'll be like peekaboo. But yeah, jail is just not for me. But I still remained, okay, fine. So yeah, sorry y'all, my mind is just going crazy. But immediately, of course I'm blocking anyone on like her side of her family, my daughter's side of her family. I'm blocking it all because I do not want contact. I do not want, no. I gave my boyfriend at the time his number and was like, okay, yeah, from now on, you are the mediator, you coordinate everything, and then I want you to be there during all of our drop-offs, okay? He starts calling my man and begging, saying, please tell her to call me. Tell her I'm so sorry. I should have never did that. I'm so sorry. Tell her I'm so sorry. Tell her to please forgive me. Because I started getting blown up on a no caller ID. It's just psychosis, I swear. But yeah, he starts calling him, asking, begging, saying, please tell her to forgive me. Tell her to just talk to me. A little bit after that situation, it wasn't awkward, but it was traumatic. Now we have to go to court and all this. And because we're both there, we're not technically supposed to be around each other. We're not supposed to be in contact and whatnot. So I think for both of us, at one point we were both on edge. I think more so I was on edge because I'm not trying to go to jail. Maybe that is not where a girl like me belongs. Okay. I do not belong in jail. Her on the other hand, she had something on her record for theft, stealing out the store. Baby, just because you live on the wild side of things does not mean I do or want to. But she definitely just acted a little bit after, so we end up, cutting the trip short. She ends up going back to Atlanta. I picked her up from the airport when she first arrived. Because we both did not feel comfortable just driving in the same car together all the way there, I paid for an Uber that was $150, close to $150 for her to go, just so she could feel comfortable. I don't even think it was anything she didn't have any money for real. It was just out the kindness of my heart, So that was that. A little bit after, because I was still just shooken about it, and she wanted to come back over, and my mind frame was still like stuck and worried and scared, and just on the fact of I'm not going to jail. I was maybe more distant for sure. Like, I was more distant for sure. This had the nerve to tell me at one time when we were talking about it, we had like a few conversations before, like we just ended our friendship. She's like, you're acting like distant, da 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 da. Like, I don't like that. You're acting different. And for me, like, I understand where it's coming from. It's coming from fear, shock, trauma, all this. You know what I mean? Like, she had the nerve to tell me, and like all that happened, and it's like, you still haven't even apologized for it. Like, you still didn't even say sorry to me. What? And it's like, apologize for what? Because if there's really women out here, and I really want to say the B word, I really want to call y'all little itches, but if you really think that in a situation like that, you should be needed or due for an apology, you need help. She did tell me that, like, I still haven't apologized to her. You need help. That is sick to think that. You know what I mean? Like, why in a situation like that would you feel like, or would I even feel like, oh, I need to point fingers? Because could I do the same thing for you? Should I tell you, like, oh, you should never go out the car? You should never go out the car because he put his hands on you, and I'm the one that intervened. But I'm not sitting here thinking like that. Like, that's just weird. Like, obviously we didn't start anything. We did not, we weren't the aggressors. It was very clear, So it's like, why would you, and I got my ass beat, the next morning, right before she got bonded out, she saw my face and she was dumbfounded about how messed up I looked. Okay, how my face looked. My eyes were swollen, barely could even open them. They were swollen shut. You know what I mean? I got stabbed right here, that wooden shank that he came outside with. I got stabbed right here. Thank you, God. God loves me because my scarring is very minimal. But like up close, I just feel like, you can tell it. Like, that's where I got stabbed. Okay. I'm not sitting here, comparing, but to say I owe you an apology, like, girl, suck the fecal matter out of my anus. You done lost your rabbit, silly tricks up for kids ass mind to think that I should sit here frantically like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so like, bitch, I got problems. I have trauma, but I'm not that fucked up to think that I should, now be like, I'm so sorry that I had sex and I had my daughter, and that, I mean, sadly now he is her, father, sadly. I'm so sorry. I should have knew years ago that this was going to be my life and this was going to be my fate, and that I was going to be here to this day, and because he sadly is her father, you would be put at harm's way and I would get my ass beat. Like, what? Like, I knew that was gonna happen. Anyways, yeah, so I had to cut that off. It sucks because it's like, after all that, it took 2 years to go to court for them to, the court to realize that they failed me and to drop all charges. For them to look through everything and say that they failed me and that they should have got arrested. Like, crazy. But it's like, what's done is already done. I wasted 2 years of my life having to go to court and everything like that. Like, it's already done. Like, appreciate it. Thank you for 2 years telling me that you guys failed me. I know, but can't do anything about it now. I pray and I wish that, like, God finds me someone, because I just hate communicating. Like, that is my biggest pet peeve. I do not want to communicate with her father. And he lives in such a delusionalistic life. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. You know, at the time of that incident, we had not been together for years. And on multiple occasions, I'd say at least every 3 months, you know, I get a call on no caller ID, or I get like a drunk message of like, I'm so sorry that I put you, I just wish we could be a family. No, no, baby. Oh my gosh, I don't care. Like, dude, I was young and you tried to groom me and it just didn't work. Yeah, no. That ship has sailed a long, long, long time ago. He was sending me messages asking me if I would want to use his sperm, freeze his sperm so I could have a child, another child. He asked me that just last week. He started sending me like old pictures of him and I. Ugh. Just disgusting. Like, he always tries to just be extremely inappropriate, blow me up in the middle of the night when I'm not, you know, answering the phone. It's, why are you not answering the phone? Like, come on, please. Like, we still have a daughter. What does that have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with you and I. It has everything to do about her. You know, y'all be careful with be careful of who you have a child with. Oh my gosh. Biggest mistake of my life. Not my daughter. Love my daughter. But like, if I could have my daughter come out the exact way, look the exact way, be the exact same way, but just with somebody else, and, you know, at a later time, I totally would. Totally would. But what's done is done. I wouldn't have changed a thing because I have my daughter and I love her to death. But yeah, y'all. So I guess that's the story about how I got jumped by my BD and his D. If you guys liked it, I hope you guys did. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to see more story times like this, your girl has had a lot of traumatic things happen to her. So I have a list of stories. I have a lot of stories. My life really is just like a movie. It is so unreal, but I have a lot of story times. But of course, you know, we got to bring it back. Guys, forgive. That has definitely been the theme to the past few story times. Do not seek vengeance. Vengeance is for the Lord. You know what I mean? God's look back for everyone that has ever done me wrong. It's a long list, but sadly for them, that look back is gonna be big. Yeah, just forgive. Give your problems to God. He lives outside of space, matter, and time. So, who would be the best person to seek your revenge, you know? And just, yeah, forgive, guys. I'll leave some scripture up. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. And as always, I love you, but God loves you more. Okay? Bye. But yeah, guys, anyways, forgive. Do not hold grudges. You know, work on your anger. All that good stuff.